Denver Broncos Mile High View, no commercials, no bullshit. Well, Colby, you got your destroyed by the Chargers game today. Uh, so if we got it wrong, which we just said they were probably, they most likely would lose the first time around. You didn't get it wrong this time. The Broncos did not disappoint at all. Hey, I want to congratulate us on this season, because while we have online platforms there that would tell you Aaron Rodgers was coming, we said that was bullshit. Got that right. When we said that, or when the other online platform said, yeah, there's a quarterback competition, we called bullshit again. And it turned out there really never was a quarterback competition, that the front office had already made their mind up, all Elway and Shermer. And the plan was always to get somebody else. We knew that all along. I want to congratulate us also because we also said at the beginning in the preseason that this would be Vic Fangio's last year, that he would be fired while everybody was talking playoffs. We said no playoffs, no playoffs, no Super Bowl. Elway, shut your pie hole. That's what we said, right? We said also, I want to congratulate. We also said that Draymond Jones would not manifest itself as this superstar. We said that the money given to Justin Simmons was not justifiable. We were right with all that, especially after this game too. I mean, we've been showing it all year long, so this game's nothing new. It's nothing new. We also, as the season went on, we said, I get this feeling that they want to keep Shermer around. We seem to get that right too. We seem to get a lot right. And if you're batting 1,000, okay, we didn't. Well, you want to get us on, the Chargers Chargers are gonna destroy the Broncos in the first. I don't believe that's exactly what we said. I think we said that they had a good chance that they were going to lose that game too. There was no game. I don't think anybody felt like they were going to, except maybe the Jacksonville Jaguars in the beginning. Okay, but I mean, any game that was a real game. Oh, by the way, I think we need to congratulate ourselves. We said, wait till, this is before the season even started. We said, wait till the Steeler game. Or was it the Raven game? Which one came first?
Raven.
Which one?
Ravens.
We said, wait till the Raven. It was one, whoever came first. We said, wait for the Ravens. And that'll tell you everything you need to know. And it did. We were right about that. So we need to congratulate ourselves because we have people out there that don't want to hear the truth. I've the bullshit propellers are like coming off the ship. I mean, it's just the bullshit is just really spewing out right now. It's remarkable, and I think what really is not it's like an alcoholic that doesn't know he or she is an alcoholic. This is the thing we have now. We have a fan base that doesn't really get what Pat Bowlen brought to this organization. They think quarterback. You won't have a quarterback until you get decent ownership and stability, and a way to develop a culture, a culture of development. That is so far from these people's universe. They keep seeing this. It's like they're walking on a sidewalk and they say, look at that in the window, it's Aaron Rodgers. Look at that in the window, it's Tom Brady. Look at that in the window, it's Patrick Mahomes. Okay? They just see the window dressing. They don't look at everything that's gone into that. They don't even look in their own team with Bowlen. What went into all that? Dan Reeves passed away, and don't remember how Elway fell in the lap. It's not, Bronco fans had a quarterback fall into their lap. Okay. And that happens. I mean, some teams move up to get quarterbacks after they've already built the team around, maybe a bridge quarterback. But that escapes these people, building a franchise, building an organization, building a culture. Okay. So all I hear is whining and pissing and moaning. I haven't heard one person give a coach. They all want to fire Fangio, but I have nobody that said what coach is out there that they're going to get. And you know that Vic Fangio has teams with the top head coaches drooling. It's going to be a bidding war for him. Now you're telling me that, and I think fans should think about that a little bit, but you're telling me that there's online platforms that are trying to brainwash their audience, who's already brainwashed, to accept Shermer as to stay on with the Denver Broncos. Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, if you're a Bronco fan, how can you look at yourself, and you may hate our guts, but as a Bronco fan, how could you possibly tune into that? How can you possibly look in the mirror and talk yourself into Shermer? There was again, Shermer, Mister, I can't figure a red zone equation out. There was the typical Shermer, I can't help myself stupidity on a 3rd and goal, and they try to do something called the Philadelphia, I call it the Philadelphia experiment, where Hitton gets this ball and tries to throw it to Locke. When you have competent tight ends and a quarterback that can fire into the hole, but you're Shermer, and why is it that these guys just want more clown show? Why is it that these guys want more clown show? But we have to admit this. He is a fireable coach, right? Shermer, you would call him a fireable OC? We can just keep that perpetual firing going, right?
I guess.
Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. He's easily fireable. So we can't get rid of all of it. So we have somebody there we can keep blaming. But this is the thing that I really have to put my 2 cents in, is all this Elway apologizing that's going on. You're sick. You're demented. If you think that Vic Fangio was responsible for, let's face it, the downgrade of this, the rotting of this team since the Super Bowl. There's only one person. Oh, but it wasn't his fault that Pat Bowlen died. Yeah, I understand that. But you do know that all the owners were upset with the trust. I mean, this has come out that they didn't take care of this ownership situation much sooner. Oh, well, just give us some time. Give John Elway, just let him do this until his contract. Why did they? What does the NFL owners? What do they care? Whether John Elway gets his time. We should have got an owner a long time ago, at least two years ago, at least minimum. John Elway would have got fired. There's no doubt about that. There's no way Elway. And thank God for Kaiser too. Let's everybody thank Kaiser. So Elway would not get any kind of ownership of this team. And the cancer is the fan base that can't get enough of Elway. He wants to apologize. There's this, it's a difference between Elway, the meddling GM, and that's another thing too. George Payton is not the GM. George Paton is not the GM. He's not. Go to the website. Go to the website. Look at what John Elway's title is. He is the GM. Paton is a co-GM, or I would call him a consultant to the front office. So please stop it. Please stop it. So what we have, what's going to go on? Because since we got all the predictions correct, if anybody wanted to, I think what the guy, Mr. Chargers here, that wants to get it, oh, I got you on the Chargers. I got you on the Chargers. People like that, our track record is so phenomenal about getting things right that they have to nitpick. They have to find something because it pisses them off that we know what we're talking about. And yeah, yes, the Broncos won that game. Okay, they won the game. They got destroyed in this game. Just for you, they got destroyed. But you said in that game, we said in this game for sure they were going to get pummeled. For sure. Okay? But our track record is they can't deny our track record. They can't deny our track record. So if you want to go and listen to people who think Shurmur should stay in charge, go ahead. I don't know how you can look at yourself in the mirror as a Bronco fan and follow that kind of garbage, but you can. If you think you're going to get Aaron Rodgers, you can follow that garbage. If you think you're going to get Russell Wilson, who he himself said to you Bronco fans specifically, that you are not on his list. He told you to your face, but you can't. You can't get that through your little noodle. No, because you listen to. I was listening to KOA. They were going on about Jacksonville being dysfunctional. I'm like, well, wait a minute. You don't realize how dysfunctional the Broncos organization is? Are you that blind? You're not just a quarterback away. You are not remotely a quarterback away. And Vic Fangio didn't sit up at night. And one thing also that I got right on when Fangio got hired, I said he was a defensive coordinator only. That John Elway was going to pick up where he left off with Vance Joseph, running the offense, player personnel, all that. All Vic Fangio was, his responsibility was defense. You're going to lose that now. That's gone. And you're all cheerleading it. So you're not even going to be able to, it's going to really go down the tubes. You're going to get a fireable coach because nobody in their right mind would come here. Nobody in their right mind is going to come here. Nobody. That is anybody is going to come here because you're not just a quarterback away. Okay? They would rather go to Jacksonville. They would rather, but that guy turned down Jacksonville. Yeah, he turned it down. Yeah, he turned it down. But who is he? Who is that guy? He's nobody. He's a guy that got fired before the season was over because he sucked so bad. But you're cheerleading him on. Yeah, bring him in. So we can fire him just like a quarterback that you want to kill. Now the only reason I can see you wanting Shurmur is that you can kill him. He's like in the Bates Motel, taking a shower, everything, and then we're gonna come in with the knife and just cut him up. Yeah, you got a guy that you can kill. That's great, wonderful. The shower scene, Shurmur. Yeah. One more guy, one more coach we can kill. Yes. Yeah, because it's not about culture. It's not about putting together an organization where that quarterback it blossoms. It comes. You don't have to worry about it. It's like the Field of Dreams. You build it, they'll come. Whether you develop them like Josh Allen or you get a Stafford, whatever, like the Rams. They're not going to come here. Not until we, get the cancer out. That's my rant, my 15-minute rant.
Oh, well, I want to go off that rant because I have a lot to unpack in terms of what you said.
That's before we get to Justin Simmons.
Yeah, this is gonna. So I want to talk about our track record, and I want to specifically talk about the things that me and you've been right on. How about both these lines? We got so much shit from other people that watch that brainwash noodle shit on the other platforms.
That wet noodle.
The wet noodle. And I got so much shit for wanting Solomon Thomas over Draymond Jones. I got so much shit wanting Sheldon Rankins over Draymond Jones. You got so much shit for wanting Jordan Phillips over Draymond Jones. Okay? You mean to tell me that Shelby Harris and Draymond Jones are an upgrade over those players?
In the bubble, in the bubble, they are.
Oh, in the bubble, they're a bunch of dumbasses, is what they are. In the bubble, they are a bunch of idiotic morons that don't know their left foot to their right foot because they do stupid shit. Okay, now I'm talking about I want to pat ourselves on the back here because we've actually had a great 2021 season when it came to getting shit right. We talked about the quarterback competition that didn't exist. We talked about that. We talked about how George Payton wasn't the GM. He is the co-GM. Did you guys watch the Giants tunnel walk when Elway came out? And there's little Shermer, his little pet dog Shermer, walking right next to him because
behind
him because unfortunately George Payton is John Elway's bitch right now. It's just the reality of the situation. And who picked Patrick Surtain? Who picked him? It wasn't George Payton. It was John Elway. That has been verified by the Denver Post. We've been over that thousands of times. Now, let's talk about Fangio for a second. What did he do today? Did he keep us in this game or did he lose us this game? I think he kept us in this game with the shitty players that he has, like a Justin Simmons, a Draymond Jones, a Shelby Harris that don't do jack fucking shit. They suck. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. You're on a roll. Go ahead.
Okay. And then on top of that, I have a fan. I am Iron Man. Come on here and ridicule me for just one little thing I said about how we were going to destroy the fucking Chargers. I'm talking about
the other way around.
Okay.
The Chargers were going to destroy us.
Yeah. Okay. The Chargers were going to destroy us. My apologies. I was talking about offense and defensive line play. I was talking about player personnel. That is what I was talking about when it came to the obliteration of the Chargers versus the Broncos. And we saw it today. And you mean to tell me that the Broncos had the depth to go toe-to-toe with these top-tier teams when they have players out because of the COVID? Oh, my God, the COVID. I want to watch the news of what I need to be scared about next week. I totally do that on a regular basis. Yeah. Get the fuck out of shit. So don't come here and tell me that I'm wrong on just the simplest little thing, little D, when it comes to fucking stupid shit like that. How about you actually come on here and tell me what I do right and what I do wrong, okay? And I've been right on a bunch of shit and I've been wrong on a bunch of shit. And I will believe the most important thing I got wrong was Javonte Williams. But on top of that, our offensive line is so dog shit that he can't do shit. And he has Pat Shurmur as his offense coordinator. My God, what a pathetic organization this has been since Pat Bowlen is gone. And don't give me that shit about you need to keep bringing up the Super Bowl. Who that was the last reminiscence of a Pat Bowlen team and a Peyton Manning team that brought those players here to Denver. So did Wade Phillips. So did Adam Peters. Yet Sandy Clough, you idiotic fucking piece of shit moron, can't understand the fact that you got it wrong. Why the fuck are you bringing up the Seattle thing? Russell Wilson. What has happened since Super Bowl 48 with the Seahawks? They've been getting their desecration on both lines and especially on defense. So don't give me that shit when you're talking about, well, the John Elway apologists, the John Elway fans, you guys are so toxic. I hope to God when we get the right owner in place, you guys just leave this fucking fan base and go be the fans of the Jacksonville Jaguars, the New York Jets, or whatever you have to do, because you guys are so fucking toxic. Go ahead.
No, they are toxic. I was going to say that when you heard playmakers today, did you hear the word Justin Simmons?
No, because he fucking sucks.
Yeah, well, you were sending me video after video of him getting beat, him miffing on tackles, and all I was listening to is about how great of a job and how hard the other guy on the other side, Kareem Jackson, on the radio, they were saying, yeah, another play made, and then you're sending me video of Justin, and then the last one you just sent me is Justin Simmons just like in the end zone. Oh yeah, touchdown. Yeah, yeah, he really helped old 27 out, didn't he?
Yeah, because he sucks.
Yeah. So, and who else didn't we hear from? We didn't hear from Draymond Jones. We heard from two other guys. We heard two other names out there. We heard a linebacker. What's
Jonathan
that?
Harris.
Jonathan Harris. Yeah. Never heard anything about Draymond Jones.
And
nothing.
Micah Kaiser, who will be gone.
Kaiser. Yeah. Two guys will probably be gone if the Elway fan base has their way. Because we got to make sure that Draymond Jones, nobody touches him. But I'm going to tell you, when an owner comes in here and people are held accountable, and it's not John Elway's it wasn't even his money to throw around. It was somebody else's money. But when it's the new owner's money, and he sees dog shit like Justin Simmons, Draymond Jones, and then that guy on the offensive side of the ball, Garrett Holds.
Oh God!
Just a turnstile, you know. Yep, there he goes. There he goes again. Yeah, they're all going to be gone, and I hope you're right. I hope they're shocked. They're just shocked they got rid of those guys, and they leave with them. They go out the door with them, and we start getting a new fan base that understands and gets it. It'd be great. It'd be great.
I agree with you 100%. I just also want to toot my own horn on the Kyle Fuller signing, because everybody was just so in love with that fucking signing. Everybody just loved that shit. And I guarantee, because Fangio could have got him 3 years ago, and he didn't.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for it, because he's regressed over the past 3 years. And man, that dude fucking sucks. And what did I say about Patrick Surtain coming out of college?
You did get that right. You did get that right. You said you were right about Furl. You said that Patrick Surtain will get beat on underneath routes.
And look what happened.
Got beat on underneath routes. Although I will give him this. He's definitely an upgrade to Justin Simmons, believe it or not.
I agree.
Because that guy is horrible. Horrible.
And you guys gave him John Elway, I'm talking to you. You gave him 4 years, $61 million. What the fuck are you doing?
He needed a mouthpiece. They knew they were getting rid of Von Miller. Adam Peters pick, Von Miller.
Oh, yep. Malik Jackson pick, Adam Peters. Danny Trevathan pick, Adam Peters. It wasn't John fucking Elway. It wasn't him.
I know, building that team.
Yeah, that is such bullshit.
That's the problem. There's just too much toxicity with this organization.
And why do you people bring, like, it's always your go-to to bring up Super Bowl 50. Did you guys look at the process to get the Super Bowl 50? Did you guys look at that process, or do you guys just refuse to look at that process?
No, they
look at, my God. And well, bring up the defense of 2015. Yeah, that was Wade Phillips' players, baby. And that was Adam Peters.
I did not get that comment. I didn't know why this guy out of left field. I didn't get out of why would you bring up Super Bowl 50 and where we are today. I just
and the Broncos don't beat themselves. The Broncos they just have shitty players in their shitty organization. They are a bottom fucking organization.
They're totally dysfunctional. They are a total train wreck.
They are. Absolutely. And KOA, stop fucking tit-tacking around that shit. Stop tiptoeing that because you don't want to hurt John Elway's feelings. And that's another thing. I am sick and tired of all these fans who don't want to hurt John Elway's feelings because what he did as a quarterback. Dude, seriously, if that was Josh McDaniels up there, you guys would have him on a fucking news. Yeah. But unfortunately, he isn't Josh McDaniels. He's John fucking Elway, who sucks as his GM. And I also want to give us credit for this. What were they saying at the beginning during the preseason and offseason that John Elway didn't exist? That's such bullshit. You guys are. And where are you? Where are you, motherfuckers? Where are you?
Yeah. Well, you know who called that? The most interesting thing about that. No, it wasn't me. The guy who actually called bullshit was George Payton.
Yes,
George Payton was the guy that called bullshit on that.
Of course he did.
And then it's even leaked out where they have to sheepishly say, "Oh yeah, well, he still has to get clearance from, can't really say the E word, but Oh, he did the best job he could to step back. He did his best job stepping back.
He did his best stepping back. Then why is the team shit?
Why is he picking the number one? Why is he picking the first rounder? And what else is he doing? He brought Shermer in. Obviously.
Can you explain?
Yeah. If the online platforms are somehow, I don't know if they have to stomach it, but you guys put yourself in this situation, okay? You want to be Elway's bitch, okay? But you got to stomach trying to convince your audience that somehow Pat Shermer needs to be kept. I don't know how you could possibly live with yourself having to do that. I mean, it's just that's one on me. But if you guys are pumping that garbage out, I know it's got to be coming from the front office. I know that has to be a talking point. And I just want to pop the popcorn and sit back and watch you guys make, again, jackasses out of yourselves. Okay, maybe your dumb audience doesn't get it. But it's going to be even a tough sell to them to keep Shermer. It's going to be a tough one. So good luck with that. But I know if these people are pushing that, it's got to be coming from the front office. And until that front office is gone, they said, Ellis is gone in 2 weeks? I don't believe any of it. I don't believe any of it until they have an owner that says, here's the broom. Get all that crap out of here. No entanglements with, Elway tentacles from afar, Oh, Peyton, this is what you got to do. This is what you got to do. I don't buy any of it until there's an owner. Because I know that an owner is not going to put up with that garbage. As long as it's not Brittany. Yeah. I don't think it's. Remember, that's another thing, too, we got right. Not quite yet, because it hasn't happened. But remember, STR was saying, no, it's going to be Brittany. It's going to be Brittany. It's going to be Brittany. Remember that?
I agree. Yeah, I do.
And then I looked into it. I said, well, it can't be, because Beth Bowen Wallace is a part of that. I think they were trying to figure out how to get a group in and work it. Well, it's not just Brittany, it's everybody, and she's just a part of it, So that's what we gotta wait and see what this is.
And Fangio. Every time I watch his press conference lately, he is not even. He's like, fire my ass. because I know I'm going to go somewhere else and have success. He's not even afraid to get fired. He's not.
Are you afraid?
He's not. Trying to be like, oh, keep me Denver, fire my ass and see what I do somewhere else. And just the sheer fact that I have to hear from idiotic, stupid ass John Elway toxic motherfucking fans sitting there with their thumbs up their asses that don't do film and give me the fucking spiel about how you're gonna blame that third down play on Fangio on the fourth and goal line when it was clearly
don't talk. Oh no, not Shermer, not John Elway. Shermer. Oh no, that's John Elway's boy.
Absolute fuck. Do you run that play when you have 3 yards left in the end zone, when you have 2 legitimate tight ends, when used properly in the Rich Scangarello, Mike Munchak style system, and you run that play? What the fuck are you doing?
That has Shermer written all over it.
Of course it does. You called it before it happened. You said, I have a feeling that Shermer's going to do one of his read options.
I know.
It's so predictable.
He's so predictable. I know. And this is the thing. If they keep Shermer, you can't. Okay, let me just say this to Bronco fans out there. Try to open your mind up just a little bit. Okay, just to, let a little crack of light get in there, because if Fangio has to go so bad.
That's even hard to ask. I'm sorry.
I know. No, you got to mail them envelopes of light. Okay, it's got to be FedEx to them. So, So no, just bear with me now. Bear with me, Bronco fan. If Shermer was really a Fangio hire, was as your brainwashing SOBs tell you that, if they keep him, isn't that the front office? Wasn't that a front office move, not a Fangio move? Was that not a front office move if he stays and he's retained? Just a fair question for you. Like I said, a little bit of open-mindedness. Think about that for a minute. Shermer was never brought in by Fangio. Fangio, he rubber stamped it. Head coach. Yeah, whatever you say, Mr. L. He Vance Josephed the okay. We're going to call it Vance Josephed. Yes, Mr. Elway. Yes, Mr. Elway. You can bring in Pat Shermer. Yes, Mr. Elway. If you can't see that, if by him being retained, then I don't know. I know Elway doesn't exist. It's all George Payton. But here's the thing. Before you go and say it was George Payton wasn't around when Shermer got brought in. Newsflash. Okay? Newsflash. Wasn't around. So you can't really go to George Payton on this one. There's only one guy that was around up at the front office running the show. Okay, one guy. He begins with a J and ends with an E. I know it's hard to believe. But like I said, let a little crack of light of just maybe openness, maybe think about that a little bit. So, and this is what I want to bring up, is that when it comes to like Drew Lock, when it comes to like Vic Fangio, when it comes to anybody that leaves this organization, Bridgewater, okay, whatever. Maybe the exception is Shermer, okay, because I think the NFL has pretty much a gauge on him. Nobody, they want to say, oh, Drew Lock, he's just, gonna like maybe get in as a backup somewhere or whatever. Fangio, well, yeah, they maybe respect him. You don't understand, people, that nobody is going to take what happened here with those guys with any kind of anything but a grain of salt, okay? Because nobody takes this organization as legit. Everybody knows who the problem is. Everybody knows the problem. You guys don't want to know what that problem was. That's fine. But the rest of the NFL, the rest of the world gets what the problem here is with. So these people probably will go on and flourish somewhere. Nobody's going to hold, like what was it? Who I can't remember. The offensive lineman, Columbus. The NFL has spoken on Drew Lock. I would recalculate that. The NFL has spoken on Fangio. I would recalculate on that one. They obviously, the same thing could have said with Vance Joseph. Obviously, people understand what organization they came from and what they had to deal with. So expect them to flourish somewhere else if given that opportunity.
So, you brought up great points. Now, here's something that I want to talk about with the whole what you just said. The offensive line. Mile High Huddle said last week that we missed Lloyd Cushenberry. And again, I don't understand the love affair for Lloyd Cushenberry because I just don't get it.
Must be an Elway player.
He is. He was drafted by Elway. Yet he looked just as bad and worse as Austin Schlottman last week. And that's the guy you want moving forward as your fucking center. Okay, not just that. The whole entire offensive line caved. But there's actually two players that I felt, actually three. Moody had his ups and downs, and he gave up a sack. But my God, Quentin Miners and Cameron Fleming are head and shoulders above Graham Glasgow and Bobby Massey. And you just want to spew that bullshit. And Garrett fucking Holds. Man, that guy almost got Drew Lock killed twice.
Yeah.
And see, that's what I'm talking about here. This all comes back to John fucking Elway.
How did the John Elway players do? How did the John Elway players do?
Fuck up. All they do is fuck up.
All they do is keep them.
Justin Simmons. I have a list right here. Time after time after time after time after time. Giving up plays, whiffing on tackles. I've been speaking of this for about 2 to 3 years now.
You sent me video of him doing it. Video.
Yeah, and then Draymond Jones and Shelby Harris. Okay, Denver Bronco fans, just go back and watch the highlights like Cody Rourke does. Fucking just tell me seriously, just do some research. Just open up your little noodle brains. Do your research and fucking tell me where the fuck was Draymond Jones and Shelby Harris in this goddamn game? We're in week 16 and they haven't done jack shit. And who paid Shelby Harris 3 years, $27 million fucking dollars? Tell me, who was it? Was it George Payton or was it John Elway?
It begins with a J and ends with an E. He's the guy signing it. He's definitely the guy signing off on the checks. That money he doesn't need. It's not even his money.
And to go off your point with Drew Lock and the tight ends, what could have been if this was a stable organization under Rich Scangarello and you were developing Drew Lock properly? What could have been? I sent you that voice message. What could have been?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're all talking about these quarterbacks. Oh, bro, whoever, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Mahomes, and if we just had them, well, that's what everybody is saying too. But everybody's making it work with the guys they got. You don't want to develop anybody. You have no interest in developing anybody. And you thought that, if we just had Josh Allen, he was going to wave magic wands. No, we've been through this. It's one of our most successful in views videos, with everybody around the NFL chiming in and saying, Bronco fans, you will not be patient enough to develop anybody. And that it's even bigger than what they even understand about how bad we can't develop any. It's not just quarterbacks. We can't even stick to, getting linemen developed. I mean, except for Garrett Holds, who is a guy that should.
Oh, a guy that I want to praise. I want to give myself a pat on the back. Rashawn Slater. Where's Sean fucking Slater? What could have been Quentin Nelson, Rashawn Slater, and fucking Tristan Wirfs, and Quentin Miners. What could have been.
What could have been. And how would that have helped develop your quarterback?
Pretty fucking great, actually.
Yeah, they don't get that. They just don't understand it.
Because they're John Elway followers. I'm trying to tell. All they care about is the feel good up the ass bullshit. Like they'll come on here and say, yeah, you guys are right, but the littlest thing we fuck up on, we will get ridiculed and bombarded for that. But how about you?
Then you got these other guys promoting Shermer. Oh yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, Shermer. Yeah.
I don't see anybody in the comment section questioning that fucking move, and I'm the only one out there. Hey, wait a minute, this guy fucking sucks.
What?
Oh, ban him. He's a terrible, horrible, evil person. Ban that fucking guy. It's fucking comical. It really is.
Yeah, I think that the reality is starting. I think it's going to really start hitting the Bronco fans coming up here soon.
I don't think so. And of
course, the owner's going to inherit a mess.
Wash, rinse, repeat.
The owner's just going to have to put the foot down and say, "This is the way it's going to be. We need, hopefully, it's going to be interesting. We got to figure out what happens, next."
Can we, man? And everybody wants to fire the coach and fire the coach and fire the coach. You're going to get a new owner here soon. So what the fuck? Oh, John Elway's going to leave this organization. I guarantee you, he is going to have every say in that coaching hire than fucking George Payton will.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
And if we get a Dan Quinn, if we get the Colts defensive coordinator, if we get a Jeff Fisher, you're gonna know who the fucking John Elway coach is. And Dan Quinn and the Colts defense coordinator and Jeff Fisher are like the perfect fucking coaches for this type of system. Guarantee you it's Dan Quinn. I fucking guarantee you it's Dan Quinn. Ted Lasso. It could be the fucking water boy.
Yeah, well, that's why I said yes, the water boy. Might as well be, because like I said, you got to have a fireable coach. He's got to be fireable so that when the new owner comes, that he can be easily fireable. That's why I said you're not going to get anybody who's anybody. You're just not.
Yeah, and
yeah,
I just say.
Let me put my brain back in.
I'm like fucking Draymond Jones.
Yeah. What's funny about Draymond Jones is the video I showed where it's double team. The one guy just passes him over to the other guy, and then he starts going. He goes over to block, and then the other guy just turns him over to the other guy, and he turns. It's just like a little rag doll that they're just passing, like a little D.
Little D.
They're passing little D back and forth. Exactly. We probably don't get it. Okay, for people that don't understand that, we got video of Draymond Jones being held back by it was an Oakland Raider at that time, offensive lineman, just holding one hand to his chest. One hand to his chest, and he can't get past him. He's jumping up.
Compared him to an Aaron Donald.
Yeah, they definitely dwell in the bubble.
Little D. Okay, and man, dude, and bring back Alexander Johnson and Joe Segura, get rid of Micah,
and get rid of those guys, all of them. Yeah.
And here's the thing: I'm actually looking forward for Fangio to get fired. I want him to, because he's going to go have success somewhere else, and I would want the same thing for Mike Munchak and Chris Cooper, because they haven't been able to get the players they want on that offensive line.
Can we go two?
That's what I would do.
Well, here's the thing. Do you think Shermer would get a job if he got fired?
No.
I don't think so either.
I think he would go back. I think the best he could probably get is college. That's it.
Was he doing college before?
I don't think so, but I think if he would take what he could get. I mean, fucking Shermer. Why did we fucking hire him? I don't get it.
I told you why they hired him.
Of course they want Kansas City model, the 20-plus yards, that Mile High Huddle supposedly never said. Roll the tape. It was bullshit. That's another thing we got right.
I love calling these people out. Oh, we called you out on the Chargers.
Oh, the littlest thing, little D.
Well, if that's all we did, then then I can excuse ourselves for that.
Well, I was strictly talking about offense and defense and player personnel play, because the Chargers are vastly superior than every team. Besides a few teams like the Jaguars.
Well, one thing I saw that I was listening on the radio. One thing I got listening to the game was that the Chargers took a page from the Raiders in stopping the run game. The blitz the run game. They did a blitz package run game, and of course, Shermer in the second half could wait because Shermer cannot adjust too. That's another thing about Shermer. They still couldn't run in the second half, even though they saw that. But they had no answer for that in the second half. That's Shermer. It's not Fangio. That's Shermer.
Yeah, I literally have here in the second half, Shermer, same old shit. Can't adjust. I have it right here.
He cannot adjust. So the running game suffered. Absolutely.
But it's all Fangio's fault. It's all his fault.
No, they're doing him a favor.
Fucking see, Lammy.
Yeah, they're doing him a favor. It's going to be a bidding war for him.
You think that he's pining to fucking stay here? No. Give me a fucking break.
Well, they asked him. They said,
I'm good. I will get paid.
He just said, yeah, I got faith. He said, oh, it's fine. I got faith.
Yeah, I got paid.
No, I got faith.
Oh, I got faith.
Yeah, he's got faith that he's not going to have any problems.
Yeah,
but I do blame Fangio for taking the job initially, because I just didn't think there was no way that he would be that dumb because I knew he was just going to be a defensive coordinator. What's that?
He was probably desperate to be a head coach.
No, he'd been asked before, turned it down. But I think what intrigued him was the fact that he didn't have to be look, I'm not asking you to really be a head coach. And I told you that there was an agreement that if you're the guy screwing up on offense, okay, then I'm sure what you said is correct. He probably was promised to have a lot more say with player personnel that he never got.
I know.
I know. It's going to be, you saw Vic Fangio wasn't happy with the Ravens coaches, the organization. I just wonder if he'll have something to say when he plays the Broncos. Of course, I mean, Elway will be gone. Hopefully will be gone by that time.
I think that whole Ravens game I think Fangio misinterpreted it. I think it had a lot to do about the organization more than it had to do with Fangio. And it had to do with Elway more than it had to do with Fangio, in my personal opinion.
Explain.
Everybody, every time we lose the coin toss, yeah, kick it to us, or we'll kick it to you because we know you won't do shit.
Offense.
So, yeah, because Shermer sucks, and I am Iron Man. Wanted to talk about 2015. Like, we're in 2022 now, and this team is vastly, like, You want to talk about defense? What happened after 2015? Aqib Talib said it. John Elway is getting rid of the dogs.
John Elway is getting rid of the dogs. John Elway is, quote, John Elway is. You know, I want to tell you, I want to just run this by you. Do you think that the front office, John Elway, before he leaves, he believes that keeping Shermer would attract Aaron Rodgers in his little brain? That's going to be enough to bring him in here?
Yes, and on top of that, all these weapons that everybody talks about. I'm serious.
You know what's amazing to me is how Shermer totally took a tight end with 4.5 speed, big, and turned him into a 2-yard drag route dud.
What did we see today when they were running that play action bootleg West Coast zone run with Noah Fant?
We saw what could have been. We saw what could have.
I said to you what could have been.
What could have been.
And all those, and you know what? I want to go back directly to what you said earlier about that Buffalo Bills are probably our most successful video when it comes to outside viewership. They were absolutely right. You Denver Bronco fans don't have the patience to develop anybody, not just a quarterback, anyone. You don't have the patience to. You don't have the patience to draft and develop. You don't have the patience to go out in free agency and spend smartly and wisely on players that can help your team. On special teams, no one brings that up. Everybody wants to blame the coach, Tom McMahon, for all of his failures. But you know what? Who is the direct correlation who brought in most of this player personnel? John Elway.
Begins with a J and ends with an E.
Absolutely. And going back, who have we developed over the past, let's say, 3 to 5 years? Who have we developed?
The best person they can point to is Garrett Bowles. That's the best they could point to. They probably would point to, comically, if I had a laugh track, Justin Simmons. That's as good as it gets.
Well,
that's the whole thing. Oh. Go ahead.
Philip Lindsay. You had Philip Lindsay in your lap, and his mom told him to come here. And what did you guys do? You got rid of his ass.
Yeah, well, talk about how the Dolphins used him.
The Dolphins used him as a flex running back, and a flex running back is they use him in multiple dimensions on his offense. Most importantly, when Mile High Huddle and Cecil Lammey and all those bullshit morons were saying that he can't catch, go back and watch the Saints game when they were using him properly. Just go fucking do it.
Yeah, we talk about development. Okay, this is what you were saying about not being able to develop anybody. That brings us to our sponsored topic. Oh, come on. I don't want to hear a commercial, you fucking pile of shit. Oh, come on. God, I hate when this happens. Yeah, it ruins everything. Maybe I'll get it now. No, I fucked it all up. I was going to have this all queued up, but that's right. We're going to talk about the quarterback. Sponsored by Plandemic, the musical. This is our quarterback segment.
Oh, my God.
Yes, because what happens is I get home, I got to get going on this. I didn't have time to set things up, so I didn't have our dramatic talk about the quarterback. But I want to make a point about development. You can't everybody, like I said, wants to look at the window dressing. Look at the quarterback in that team. Look at the quarterback at that team. Did you look at the organization? If you develop all these pieces around, you will get your quarterback. You will get him. You're not going to just go and pluck one out. It's not going to happen. And I know they think that who is it that they were saying he's going to be like John Fox, that coach that you were talking about.
Dan Quinn?
Yeah, he's going to be John Fox. He's just going to be just like John Fox. And I know this has got to be coming from Dove Valley. Well, he's going to be just like John Fox coming in. And you keep Shermer. It's and we got these receivers. You're gonna attract. I'm just telling you that, and I think you could agree that John Elway wants to go out big, try to like his last, like the creature from the time machine. He's hanging on to the time, and he just turns into a skeleton and goes away. He's just trying to grab on to, make it work just one last time. You agree with that?
I agree.
Just trying to see what I could just. I think Peyton should know that. Just give it up, Elway. Give it up. Give it up. But it all seems like it's coming from the front office, this move.
Oh, yeah. We're going to keep Shermer, bring in Dan Quinn, and everything is going to be A-OK.
Who did the whatchamacallits, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they want Dan Quinn, or they want to just interview him?
No, they like, hey, we want to interview you. And Dan Quinn's like, nah, I'm good.
Because he's got like John Elway? Well, he doesn't want to seem too desperate.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if it's Dan Quinn or the Colts defensive coordinator, or the which I would be shocked if we got him because he's coming from a stable organization. Or, Jeff Fisher comes out of retirement, or Doug Peterson. I mean, that's another guy that is like fucking Shermer. Doesn't know his head, doesn't know his right to his left. And then fucking, it's going to be some.
I had a name too that was bring him back from the past, but I forget it now. So sorry. Ted Lasso.
Yeah, Ted Lasso.
Sure.
This is fucking.
Oh, it'll attract Aaron Rodgers. Don't you get it? Don't you?
Yeah.
And
Aaron Rodgers is going to stay in Green Bay.
Well, I tell you what, if he didn't, he ain't going to come here.
No. Neither is Russell Wilson. Neither is Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew. Do you understand? We're so close to getting Gardner Minshew. Do you understand?
You guys ready for some Tyrod Taylor?
Tyrod Taylor. Okay. Cue Mile High Huddle. Go sell us some Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah. Go sell us some Andy Dalton.
Yeah, if Shermer just would have had Tyrod Taylor,
oh God,
it would have been different. And now Fangio's out of here, who never messed with the offense anyway. Oh, it's all going to be different now. It's they said it'll be different. Oh yeah. Oh, he said it'd be different. Yeah. Whatever you say.
Yeah, we're a bunch of fucking idiots. Yeah, we're a bunch of fucking morons.
We don't have a mind of our own. Just tell us what we need to think today. What do I need to? Just tell me. I don't know what to do. Just tell me. Well, you're sure. Yeah. Oh man.
We love it. Yeah, we do. We love brainwashing our audience. Yeah.
Fucking dumbasses.
I know, fucking idiots. Oh, if it's all Pat Shermer, it's all Vic Fangio's fault for not giving Pat Shermer the proper time to score. Like, Oh my, the excuses for that motherfucker. The excuses.
I told you I could smell that. I just didn't pass the smell test. This whole Shermer thing. I'm telling you, Shermer was not brought in by Fangio. I'm telling you.
I know he was.
He rubber stamped it, but he was signed on as a defensive coordinator, and Elway is in charge of the offense. So of course he's going to say, okay, yeah. Hey, I'm not here to talk about Scangarello. Hey, that's your, my hands off. And he was so hands off. He was a little bit too hands off, and it was obvious he was a defensive coordinator. I mean, he didn't even bother to check in on the offense at all. I mean, it was that was his job, as defensive coordinator. So they're going to get rid of the co-defensive coordinator too, right?
So if you had, okay, so now we have one more game. Fangio's going to probably get fired that Monday or after the game next week. Oh, and by the way, the Chiefs aren't going to rest their starters, so this might be another ass whooping. I mean, seriously. But anyway, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that, you think they're going to keep Shermer and just go after another fucking yes man? I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. So could you keep the defensive coordinator?
Ed Donovan? No, he's going to go with Fangio.
They'll go together.
Because
that would be I'll tell you what. Can you imagine what a team, whatever the team is, could you imagine that package that you're going to get Fangio and Ed Donatel?
And you give Fangio the proper say on what he wants on that defense? Could you fucking imagine?
Well, that's what he's going to say. He's going to say, I've already got paid to be a head coach, so I got my money.
You know what?
I need say on player personnel because I couldn't get it from that guy running the show over there. And they'll say, we understand that. We get that. And that the team that says, we totally understand that what you were doing in Chicago, you couldn't do in Denver because of the guy meddling up there. Exactly.
You know what? You know what's really interesting about that? Could you imagine if Mike Munchak and Bill Kollar just leave too? I mean, oh my God.
Well, I don't know what their contract. I don't know what their contract is.
I don't know about Bill Kollar. I don't know about Mike Munchak. I think he got a 3 or 4 year deal, so he might have one more year left. I hope Mike Munchak leaves.
That may be it too, because when the new owner comes, it's going to probably be say la vida, all that stuff.
Great, there goes another good coach.
Oh no, they don't. They'll be glad to get rid of them. They'll be.
Whatever.
They'll be totally glad to get rid of them. Yeah, it does. Yeah, court running backs.
That pisses me the fuck off. I'm sorry, but I'm so heated about this because you had Mike Munchak, and if you gave him the proper fucking reign, you got rid of Garrett Bowles, you got rid of Reisner, you got rid of Glasgow.
It's sad that we have to get rid of Reisner, and I'll tell you why. I kind of looked at Reisner like Locke as a casualty of this wanting to run this Kansas City system.
I know, I get that. I understand that, but even he's regressed in polling now.
I know.
He's regressed. I'm just talking about in terms of Mike Munchak and Bill Kollar. If you just gave them the proper say, hey, Mike Munchak, I want to go after Steeler type linemen. Bill Kollar, I want to go back to 2015.
It doesn't make any sense having those two guys when you have Shermer, because the two don't match. It's always mismanagement of mismatching.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like that, you're hitting the nail on the head. Isn't that a cause for, hey, Mike Munchak, I want out of here. I'm done. I can't work with Shermer. I mean, who the fuck wants to work with this motherfucker? Who wants to work with Elway? Who wants to work for that dude? Number one. I mean, my God. Could you imagine in those meetings, just him just at the end?
Now,
Oh, God.
I was watching a critique on Drew Lock on the with the Raiders game, and there was a commenter that brought something up that wasn't in the context of the video, but the commenter made a good point. He was saying that these routes that Shermer is putting out there are takes too long to develop, and he's right about that. In the context of they don't, again, we were talking. Remember where you just got done saying developing players, developing. They don't have the offensive line that can consistently block. And I thought they actually did for pass pro in that game. They did for them. They did a decent job pass blocking. They couldn't run block worth a shit. They were completely there. It was like it had vaporized. But for the most part, they got away with some decent blocking pass pro. But through the course of the year, this team has been too inconsistent to be able to run the routes that and it's, this is the thing about Shermer too. He'll have these routes that take too much time to develop, or he'll have you mentioned it too, it's 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 2, and he can't go 4 yards. He can't send people out 4 yards. He's got to run them 1 yard. And what this guy does makes no sense whatsoever. What he does, he doesn't. I don't know. You're just baffled, every time. And then I don't know how Fangio gets blamed for. Oh well, that would be those guys doing it. I guess. I guess that would make sense because it's coming from them. So yeah, I guess so. I guess it makes sense because it's them. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to develop, you need to have a system that plays to your player's strength. Shermer will never ever do anything that plays to anybody's strengths.
I agree.
And in that, and then in that whole picture, there's no development in developing players at the core level, working out, growing the offense around those players, their strengths. I think that's what Scangarello was trying to get across to Elway and maybe Flacco, when in their parting shots.
I agree.
I think you're right. I think Flacco didn't literally leave on best of terms here.
No, I don't agree, and I don't think a lot of players have left on best of terms here in Denver.
We go back to that interview with Corey Rourke, and God forbid that we would show that. Oh, they hated that, didn't he?
Yeah, he hated it.
Yeah, we brought it up, but it's the truth. I think he was shocked. He was shocked. But we had kind of a beat on that, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So okay, we know Kansas City's probably going to be a complete wash. You have a coaching staff that probably could care less. They probably already got their bags packed, at least part of it. And then I bet you there's players that are like, I wonder if there are players that just like, can we get rid of Shermer? They're trying to reverse it. Oh, we could care less about Fangio. But I wonder if they would rather have Fangio and get rid of Shermer.
Well, what I saw from this game is I saw some players on offense and defense putting out tape for 31 other teams.
That was part of our pregame. We talked about that.
Yep.
So how should we title this video?
I have no idea. It's just, to me, it's the same. Like I've said, it's wash, rinse, repeat, same old shit. We can't develop anybody. And I would just say, give us credit where credit is due, because we've been right on a majority of what we predicted going into this season. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a title. It's not a title that you want to hear, but it's a title that needs to be told, and it's a title that, quite frankly, critiquing us on just the little fucking D, little D, just the littlest thing over some bullshit. But when we're right time and time again on how this team is on a week-to-week basis in terms of interior line play and player personnel play, you can't go wrong with our track record, especially your track record ever since you started this channel. You can't go wrong with it.
Well, I started this channel with this one thing. I said we have to find a culture. We need a new culture. We need to rebuild the culture before we can do anything else. We're not even in the rebuilding stage because we need an identity. I believe Elway has totally taken our identity completely away and substituted it with a win now, an empty win now promise of band-aids, bad hires. And if you blame Fangio, well, Elway hired Fangio. Okay. If you want to blame Fangio, Elway hired him. So it was just one promise after another. We're just one quarterback away. That all comes from Elway. That's that same mentality. Win now. It's win now. We're in a Super Bowl now. We're just a quarterback away, and we all know that's false.
Yep, and we also knew what was false when he said that Joe Flacco was in his prime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and everybody said yes, Mr. Elway, of course, yes.
And where's all the people that said that they were going to get on Fangio or get on Elway, my apologies, with this hire? If this didn't work out, we're going to go to Elway. And look what you motherfuckers did.
He doesn't exist. Yeah, he doesn't exist.
You put your fucking tails between your legs and you ran like a fucking bitch.
Yeah. Well, no, it went into denial. It doesn't exist.
And then we were the ones saying that he does fucking exist.
Well, George Payton did. George Payton said he existed.
He did before me and you, even before they hired George Payton, was saying this motherfucker existed. Starts with a J and ends with an E.
Starts with a J and it ends with an E. You can figure it out for yourself. All right, I'll have to figure something out on this. It's just another rotten mess.
I repeat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, they'll hire a coach they can fire.
Yep. Look for the name Dan Quinn. Look for that name.
Yeah. I think that's maybe what I'll do. I'll say Broncos looking for a coach they can fire.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. All right.
Another week.
Take care, man.
Take care.
Yeah, bye.
Bye-bye.